Hi fellow producers, this is Julie, welcome to a new video. In this video we continue our track production series. Today we are moving from structure to something interesting, bringing the track to life with dynamics, envelopes and automation. In the previous video, we built the basic structure of the track. At that stage, we worked without effects or detail editing. MIDI clips were treated as ready-made blocks, duplicated, trimmed, and arranged across the timeline. Right now, we already have a finished structure, but at that moment it's still static, more like a scheme than a living composition. So, in this video, we move to the next step, creating dynamics. We'll start shaping how the sound evolves over time using automation and envelopes in Ableton. From this point, the arrangement stops being just a structure and starts becoming real music. Let's start with the break section. We begin with the break because it acts as a bridge between sections. This is where the sound often needs to evolve, expanding, fading, or building tension. Automation is especially noticeable in breaks because it creates a sense of movement and anticipation. For our example, we will use percussion in the break. In this section, percussion often stops acting purely as a rhythm and starts working more like a texture and atmosphere. Before adding automation, we first need to prepare the clip. Our goal is to create an isolated environment where we can modify the sound without affecting other parts of the track. Now any changes will affect only this specific clip. Next, we add an effect that we will control using automation. We add a preset called Space. This is an effect track that contains several effects: reverb, delay, low-pass filter, high-pass filter, volume control. Using a rack like this allows us to control multiple effects from a single place. After adding the rack, we open the clip envelope window. Clip envelope allows us to control effect parameters inside a single clip over time. The principle is simple. When the envelope line is at 0, the parameters value is 0. As the envelope increases, the parameter value increases as well. However, the maximum influence of the envelope depends on the actual knob value of the effect. Let's start with the delay. At the beginning of the clip, we place a point at 0%. At the end of the clip, we set a point at 20%. This creates a gradual increase of delay throughout the break. We can also shape the curve of the envelope. If we hold Alt, we can bend the line so the rise becomes steeper near the end. Next, we adjust other parameters. Reverb. Set the knob to 100%, but keep the envelope static at around 10%. This adds atmosphere and depth. Low filter. Set the knob to 100%, then create an envelope rising from 0% to 40%. This gradually removes low frequencies. It's a technique often used by DJs, filtering the lows to make the mix feel lighter. A good tip here, don't overdo the effects. Even small changes are enough to create movement while keeping the mix clean. Now we encounter an important problem. The space effect we added is placed on the track itself. That means it affects every clip on that track, even though we don't want it. For example, we only want this effect in the break, but not into the intro, drop, or outro. So we need a way to turn the effect on and off all the time. This is where automation in the arrangement view comes in. The concept is exactly the same as clip envelope. We still use points connected by lines. The difference that automation works across the entire timeline of the track. Every effect in Ableton has an on-off button. This button is also a parameter, which means it can be automated. So right-click the button and choose Show Automation in New Line. Now we see an automation line. Then the value is low, the effect is off. Then the value is high, the effect is on. Using points, we define exactly where the effect should be active. For example, only during the break. This is the simplest example of arrangement automation. After setting it up, we can copy the clip to other breaks and all envelopes and automation will move together. Now let's see how it works when we copy clips with automation and envelopes. Next, we move to the drums. We'll use the same space effect track, but this time we'll focus on the high filter. We also add the reverb starting at 0% and gradually increasing it to about 15 by the end of the clip. Rename the clip to break, then use automation to turn the effect track on and off. After that, copy this clip to the other break sections in the arrangement. We also have a short 4-bar break before the part 2. For that, we can simply copy the first 4 bars from the 8-bar break and put them there. Apply the same idea to the drum clips. Now let's apply the same concept to bass. We add the overdrive effect to the bass track. Set the dry-wet parameters to 100%. Then open the clip envelope, lower the envelope to 0. Now we create a small spike at the end of every 4 bars. Why every 4 bars? Because musical phrases in house music often resolve every 4 bars. This short burst of distortion highlights the end of the phrase. Bass suddenly feels more alive. Instead of playing in a flat loop, it begins to breathe with the track. We also have a short 4-bar break before the part 2. For that, we can simply copy the first 4 bars from the 8-bar break and put them there. Of course, these changes are quite subtle, but these small details and microdynamics make the arrangement more interesting and help keep the listener engaged throughout the track. Now we can compare our result. So now you've seen how envelopes and automation help bring movement into a track. Now it's your turn to practice. Try applying envelopes or automation to any effects in your track, or experiment with this free project available on MIDI. If you're looking for something that fits your musical taste from the start, I also have a library of Ableton presets and MIDI on MIDI. If something feels unclear or you run into difficulties, send me your questions and feedback in the comments. Your feedback really helps me create useful content for you. In the next part, we'll focus on the rhythmic side of the arrangement and start developing the drums using groove and a few tricks to transform simple loops into groove that evolves throughout the track. See ya!